say sorry about something one day, a real sorry about something you've done, because you're a person, you're going to make mistakes. He's going to have to ask for forgiveness and ask for the sorry, because he's an individual, he's a person. If it ends, it really just shows it wasn't meant to be, because you're supposed to work through these things as a couple no matter what. But there is a reason behind all of it. And I think it's really important that you take time to realize that these people are human beings. Yes, they're men, and it's easy to call them trash and throw them under the bus and all that. And I know this episode, you really didn't think I was going to try to give an olive branch to men, but it is important to understand that this guy is hurting. And this guy, I know this guy is hurting because this is how he normalizes hurt. This is how he deals with hurt, deals with stress, deals with pain. And if anything, I feel sorry for this man, because this is what he's had to do to try to survive or try to matter or try to be heard. And the fact that that's so destructive says so much about where he came from and how it's still affecting him today. And I challenge you to dive into this frame of thinking, because it will set you free. It will release you. Because if you could put a human behind the monster, then you could understand that monster. And then you could realize that it's not so much about you, and you could soothe that ego and soothe that hurt and soothe that spirit and know that they're just on their path, and I happen to get caught up in it. And I wish them the best, and I need to soothe me. So this way we start taking the power away of, so not so much like, okay, well, he did that and he didn't do that, so I suck, or I don't matter, or how dare he? And then you put yourself through all these emotional whirlwinds. Or you could sit with the fact that he comes from this, and so he normalizes that, and that's his path. And I really hope one day he figures that out. But that doesn't concern me, and I need to soothe this. Like, notice that shift in difference is by understanding who he is as a human being, you're then taking the power away of making him a monster. He's only loud and shouting. He's not a monster. He's just a scared little boy that doesn't know what to do with his emotions. And if you could start seeing him as that, that takes the power away from him and it gives it back to you. And that's where we practice emotional intelligence. That's where we practice our own emotional regulation when dealing with the process of men and how they deal with breakups. And this is how you continuously can check yourself, continuously can help yourself in terms of what you need to move forward as the process is going on. We hit on some of the social media things. We hit on the Tinder things. We hit on the distraction things. We hit on maybe the toxic things that some men may do. And it's really important that if they're doing this toxic stuff, it doesn't mean that they love you. Doesn't mean that it's meant to be. Doesn't mean that, oh my God, it's passion. No, the fact that he's breaking through the back window shows that he has issues. Not because he's passionate and that he loves you. Okay, you easily could just get some damn coffee and he could tell you, talk accountability with you. But no, he's busting through the damn back window. Jesus. Again, it's important that you don't get trapped into Lululand in terms of, well, he's doing all this because it's passion and he loves me. Like, no, this doesn't prompt any safety whatsoever. And he's just reaffirming that he's a hot ass mess and you're not going to feel safe in this relationship. So I have to hit on that as well. For my Dululu ladies and my Dululu lads, to kind of check yourself in terms of those actions. As they process the breakup, as they go through these things, they may also holler at other women. They may even date other women. And that, like it or not, is a rebound relationship. But Eli, they've been together for years. Still rebound relationship. Eli, they're about to get married. Rebound relationship. Eli, they went into business together and now they own a series of McDonald's and their faces on billboards and commercials. Still rebound relationships. It's still a rebound relationship. And it doesn't matter what the result is from that rebound relationship. That relationship happened because of his lack of, because of his having to address with his solitude, having to address with his loneliness, having to address with himself, which is why he may have hurt you and did things that were not okay, because those were very shameful things to do. And he couldn't take accountability for it then. So how can he take accountability for it now alone? So what does he do? He's going to find another woman. He's going to find another woman to be able to be that thing to lean on so he could project his victim blaming and not go deep here, because she's just going to reaffirm his victimhood. She's just going to say, oh my God, you're right. Oh my God, she's crazy. Oh my God, you're so smart. Oh my God, you choose me over her. Wow, I must matter. Oh my God, wow, I can't believe you've been through that. So he's like, yeah, he's just sucking it in. Even though the relationship might work out great, even though they might end up being happy, even though they might end up having kids, you need to understand the fact that that relationship was created with the seed of inadequacy. And I rather have you be alone and heal with your hurt and try to find a tree that's already growing and abundant and know where it's going than be with someone that isn't a seed of inadequacy.
The Self-Hype Podcast. selfhypepodcast.